Hey guys.
Hey, welcome.
Ugh.
Welcome to
Welcome.
Sister Vibes. We're back again.
Guess who's back?
Back again. Sister Vibes. So,
Alicia and Tara.
Fatera. I'm Fatera. That's Alicia. Bye. I was kidding.
Aubrey
Which
looks
this
so
is
cute.
I know I don't know why she was doing that. It was so funny. I'm like, is that what is that what old people do? I don't know. It was just hilarious. And she was like, her faces were so funny. If you
Did you
like
put
zoom in.
makeup to give her wrinkles?
Yeah,
That
it
was
was
cute.
a washable marker, but
Oh, I thought it was like that makeup stuff.
no,
What
I
is that
didn't.
stuff called? That you put it on
Eyeliner,
your face. No, you cover your face with it. It's like the
contouring stuff, like
I don't know.
contouring makeup. I
Yeah,
don't
that
use
kind of
it.
stuff. I
Yeah.
don't. It was dark. I
Have you
mean,
ever seen videos of like girls who make themselves look like a different person and then they'll take the makeup off and it's like
oh
this is
yeah,
what I really look like. That's so creepy.
it's creepy. Sometimes it's really cool though what they can
Yeah.
do, but it's so fake.
Yeah, I
I
know.
want to do it just one time. I want to see what I look like with a bunch of makeup on.
Yeah, like
Just to
real
see
makeup.
if, yeah, just to
Yeah.
see if it looks like some of the filters that I
Yeah,
use, you know? Like,
right.
can I really be like that pretty? Is
Right.
what I want with
Yeah.
makeup.
Right.
So,
Man, I just hate it because I am so sensitive.
oh, me too.
Like
I'll break out.
I've not found the right makeup. The kind that I use just to cover like blemishes and stuff. It's supposed to be like a one that helps you not get acne, but I still get it anyway.
Oh,
Like
yeah. I've
I
had
have
a sensitive skin Neutrogena, and it was expensive,
hmm,
a little touch-up one, but wherever I would like, it would get worse.
yeah.
Yeah, and then start getting really red and dark. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Like I know skin sensitivities are the worst.
Mhm.
Now it's
Sometimes
like
green. I know it's
green.
whenever if I cover up a pimple with that stuff, it'll end up being green. That's an allergic reaction
Oh
to
my gosh,
makeup.
I've never heard of green. Mine
The
doesn't get
pus,
green.
yeah, the pus will turn green
Oh,
depending on what it is. Yeah, that's
great.
happened to me several times. That's why I
Yikes.
don't put anything on my face except for MSM cream. That
Hmm.
stuff, it's the only thing I can use.
Hmm.
It's I don't understand why, but it gives me blackheads, so
Yeah. Yeah. It's like I can't win either. It doesn't
either.
matter. I hate it. It's frustrating. But oh well, hey, that's what we're talking about today, right? Beauty. Right. And just the way we look
I,
and think about ourselves.
I guess we could talk about that, yeah. That's not
Yeah.
what I said. I said worthy.
You said worthy?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about like our worth in Christ or whatever.
Yes, it
Okay,
is.
I
What does
guess
that have to do with
I
beauty, though? I
because
guess maybe it does.
some people view,
Like
you
their
know,
worth is
in
because.
looks, you know what I mean?
Gotcha, gotcha.
Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was thinking about our society,
Hmm.
how humans make us feel worthless. Okay, you're right.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well,
Because
the
the way we
reason
look
I
for
thought of
sure.
that is because this morning, I don't know why I was randomly thinking of this. Like, I remember being with the boy's father and just feeling like so crappy about myself
Mhm.
all the
Yeah.
time for years.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yes, I
Yeah.
can put on a smile through all of it, but like deep down, I felt like I was worthless because I was told I was worthless all the time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That was
Like,
pretty much me the first 18 years of my life. Not first 18, but the last.
oh, I definitely felt worthless growing up too, but
Yeah.
then I got married to someone that did the same thing to me. So
Yeah.
I have felt worthless
Hmm. For a
almost
long
all
time.
my life. Yeah, which
Yeah.
is
Well,
crazy to think about,
what
but
changed that for you? Like what moment did you finally realize that's not true, you know?
I don't know if it was a moment or several.
Yeah.
A lot of reading.
Mhm.
I would read things that would open my eyes. A lot of them were Bible verses.
Mhm.
Oh gosh, this was 10 years ago though.
Yeah.
Wait, how long have I been divorced? I can't even remember.
Long time.
2012, so 8 years.
8.
So it was a couple years before I finally got divorced when I was like, I realized, and that's when things got really, really bad. When I
Yeah.
started realizing, you know what, I don't deserve this stuff.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
I would
Like God
also like
opened
look
your eyes.
around. Yeah, I would also look around and just be like, wow, that's what I want. I don't want to be treated like this, especially
Mhm.
behind closed doors.
Oh
It
yeah.
was all behind closed doors. He
Right.
was so nice to me in front of other people. It was weird.
Yeah. And you're just like, what is this?
Yeah, it was
Oh
so
yeah.
fake and people like they put on a show,
Yeah.
and behind closed doors it was awful.
Oh, I
Like,
know. I know. I know. I know that's, just part of my testimony too is just always feeling like not loved or not worth anything because that's
not
what we were
worth
told.
love. Yeah, that's
You
how we
know?
were treated too.
Mm,
Ugh.
yeah. Yeah, it was hard, but God, I just love how God just never stopped pursuing us and never stopped trying to let us know that that wasn't true.
Exactly. I feel like he's trying like more now than ever. Like
Mhm.
but also I'm listening more now than
Yeah,
ever. You
right.
know, my eyes were opened, and now I don't know.
Hmm.
I also look for, not that I look for signs and stuff, but like
Right.
I'm always like my eyes are always open to my surroundings
Hmm.
now. And
Yeah.
just I always notice things more.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's cool, but
That's good.
I
Yeah,
don't.
just notice ways that he's showing you he's there, right? Is that
Oh
what you
yeah,
mean?
yeah. Showing me that I am worthy,
Yeah.
basically. Because sometimes I don't. I even now, like I'm not. I still make so many mistakes, but still, like I know I'm worthy of
Yeah.
love.
Yeah.
So
Yep. Of
regardless of the mistakes I make, I am human. We all are. But
course.
I try my hardest to like just be a better person each day.
Mm.
I feel like everybody should do that. But it's hard to do that when you don't feel like you're worth anything, you know?
Right. Yeah, it's like what's the point?
Yep.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I don't know why I was just thinking of I think it's Romans 5:8 that talks about how um God's love for us is so great that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Like
Yeah.
he died for us when we were sinners. Like that's like, you know what I mean, our worst self. He died for us in our worst, moments, the moments that we were making our worst decisions or you know what I mean? Like
Yeah. We don't
and he
deserve
still
it.
loved he
Ugh.
still loved us. He loved us so much that at our darkest, he died for us still. And that's how he proved his love and our worth, in him is through Jesus dying.
Oh, I
So,
know. But I don't know. Like with the worth, I don't feel like we're worth that.
yeah,
But apparently we are.
right
So
to God. Yeah.
that's a hard thing to like grasp, just
Yeah.
because we're such like humans suck. Yeah,
Yeah.
like we're not the greatest type. We're not the
Yeah. And
greatest like whatever. I don't know how to
right.
word that, but we suck.
Yeah. We do.
Anger, huh?
I said we do. You're right.
It's just
Like,
like we make so many mistakes, and we usually make the same mistakes over and over until we find, you know what I mean?
right.
Just we're not that great.
Yeah. Right. I mean, we make mistakes, right? And God saves us from those mistakes and helps us
Hmm.
to turn it around and to stop doing those things. But he doesn't just throw us away after
Right.
you know what I mean? He doesn't look at us
He
and
still
say,
loves
"Gosh,
us.
you've made this mistake a million times. I'm done with you." Like there's never going to be that moment where he's just done with us. Like he's going to continue showing us, "Hey, this is wrong. This is wrong. I have more for you. I have better for you. You're worth more than this." Like he never stops trying to get us to that place. But you know what I'm saying? He doesn't just throw us away and say, "Well,
Mhm.
you're not there, so I'm moving on." Like I told you, I think in a couple of videos ago, like we're our relationship with him is like a walk, right?
Mhm.
And
Yeah, he
we take
carries us.
steps and we stop because we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing, right? And he doesn't just continue walking without us. He waits for us to turn
Yeah.
back around, and then once we're ready to stop doing the wrong thing, we pick back up with him. Like that's just how he is with us. He doesn't just leave us, and that should say a lot about what we're worth to him, because how many of us would do that? for somebody else, somebody who keeps wronging us. Like,
Yeah. I've
and
done it. I mean,
yeah,
it's not fun to
yeah,
do
it's
that,
hard.
It is
Yeah,
hard to do that.
yeah,
Um, so wow, that's an eye opener in itself. Just like,
yeah, yeah. And of course, when there's abuse involved and stuff like that, I don't think that that's God's plan for us to be in
mm-mm,
abuse and to continue in it. Yes, do what you can at first to try to stop the behavior. And if it doesn't stop at that point, I think, I believe that He is okay with you kind of
yeah,
cutting that off. You know what I mean? But if we are truly supposed to be like Christ in other normal relationships that aren't abusive, you know, it's easy for us to just give up on people. You know what I
oh
mean?
yeah. People
Um,
give up on us though, you
yeah,
know.
same.
I feel
Yeah,
like just
very true.
people in general, it's so hard, like humans.
Hmm. Yeah,
Like for us to look to them to determine our worth is
yeah,
silly.
wrong.
Like, why do we
Can't,
do that?
we can't.
You can't because you're going to end up feeling very unworthy.
Yes,
Like, I feel like
exactly.
humans like play a huge part in how we feel about ourselves,
Yeah,
which is weird,
yeah,
because we should never like rely on somebody else's opinion,
right,
to feel good about ourselves.
right.
It's just so weird how we do that, though. I did it
Yeah,
for so long.
yeah,
And I never want to do that again. I
yeah.
never want to depend on someone's opinion for me to
Hmm.
feel like I'm worth love. I
Right.
know I am. It
Yeah.
just,
Oh, yeah, of course.
and I want my kids to feel that way too.
Yeah.
Of course, they're worth love. Like Danny's been, he said it's not that he cares about what other people think, but he kind of does.
Yeah, of course.
He's about to be 16.
Yeah. That's
I'm about to
crazy.
have a 16-year-old child.
I
So
know, that's
crazy.
crazy.
But he has moments where, opinions of others does have effect on him. And
Of
I'm just
course
like,
it
have to
does.
keep reminding him, no, no, please don't. Please, just don't worry
Let
about
it
that
go.
because let it go. Don't worry about, because half these people you're never going to see ever again in your entire life.
Yes.
Probably more than half, depending on if we stay here or not. But
Right. Yeah.
like, even, I remember in high school, whew,
Yes, I know.
worrying so much about what everybody thought of me. But
Yeah,
why?
I know. I know. If you have to change who you are to and what you're comfortable with and to please somebody else, there's something wrong with that. Like they number one, they should be able to accept you as you are. Not to say that, if there's things that we can improve on, like,
Right.
yeah,
No,
I
I know
mean,
what you mean.
but if they don't like what you're wearing, they're not going to be
Right.
friends with you because you don't have the right shoes or
Yeah.
this or that. Those are not the kind of
Materialistic.
people you need to spend your time trying to please,
Nope.
you know. And so, yeah, I know it's hard, especially in today's world. Like everybody's kind of obsessed with image,
Yeah.
and it's frustrating, especially as
I'm
Christian
in the
parents.
fitness world. I
Yeah, and
know everybody's obsessed with it. It's kind
yeah,
of it's sad though sometimes
yeah,
just because the attention that a lot of people want and
yeah,
the attention that they're getting too.
yeah.
Like I'm not saying I don't care either
Mhm.
way about the attention.
All right.
Does that a lot of people
Yeah,
don't believe that, but I honestly I'm
yeah.
fine.
You're
I'm
just trying to
perfectly
do,
fine.
yeah, what
It's
God wants
it
you to
does
do.
help build my confidence, but doing this, like
Hmm.
with you, has
Yeah,
built my confidence so much more.
yeah, good.
Is that weird?
No, no, I think that's true because, like, to me, when I see people doing stuff like that, not you, because you're just different. You're not like a lot of the other fitness pages
Yeah,
that I see where they're just constantly
see, doing
they're
squats.
screaming. They're screaming for approval. They're
I see
screaming
so
for
many
attention.
squats. It's like
Squats. If I see another squat.
there's so many squats, and I'm like, lunges are way better for me.
Yeah.
I like lunges, but I will never put. I'll do squats from the side, but I'm never gonna like put the camera behind my butt. Like
Oh, geez, that's embarrassing. I don't know. That's embarrassing to me, but
there was this did I do? I forgot I did burpees or something. And I decided to record because there was people beside me and the way the gym was set up. I was
yeah,
like, well, I can't do it from here because I don't want them in my shot. So I put it
right.
behind me. I had to delete that whole 18-minute video. I was
Oh
like,
my god.
oh. I was
Oh
like,
my
I am
god.
not posting that.
Oh man, that's funny.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
hilarious. I don't see how girls are comfortable doing that. I'll
Yeah.
do, like I said, I'll do like my squats from the
Mhm.
side, but a lot of it's to see if I'm going down far enough. When
Right.
I'm doing a squat, you can't, it's hard for me to feel it. And usually I'm not. Finally, since I started recording myself, I know where to go.
Oh,
So I
good.
can finally go down. But for the longest time, I was doing it wrong.
Oh.
Oops.
Hey, it's a learning process, right? I
Oh, it
mean,
is. It all is. It all
yeah.
is. But some people just keep doing the wrong things and they never like fix it.
Right.
I want to do everything proper. I want to like I'll watch videos before I do it.
Mhm. That's
You know,
good.
just to
Yeah.
make sure I'm doing it the right way,
Yeah.
proper form.
That's
So
good. Yeah.
important.
Good.
Anyway, sorry. What
Oh
were we talking
no.
about?
I was just saying, just
The attention. Yeah.
yeah, just the approval that people
Oh,
need
I don't
from
care.
constantly posting and
I don't care.
I.
Well, I just do it and I make a lot of people's day, which is really
Yeah.
cool.
Good.
It's exciting to get messages about, even if I don't post like a smile, they're like, "Oh, are you okay?"
Yeah.
We've talked about
Yeah.
it before, but
It's funny because like when I look at your stuff, I can see confidence there. Like you don't need 50 selfies in order to get approval. Like that's not what you're doing. You know what I mean?
oh yeah.
I can see a difference. And I think that's why you're having such a positive, getting such a positive outcome and results, and because you just exude a confidence, right? Because you know who you are, like you know where your worth comes
I
from,
do
you
know who
know?
I am now. Like if
Yeah.
you would have talked to me 10 years ago, a totally different person.
Yeah. Me
Same
too.
silly Alicia, but the confidence to be
Yeah.
that, like
Same
out in
thing
the open,
for me.
like a lot of people don't know the real me.
Yeah.
Like people are getting to know the real me, like being silly and stuff, but
Good.
yeah. And of course I have my moments. I wonder about that too, like if people think I'm trying to portray that I'm perfect or that I'm always happy. Do you know what I mean? But why
Yeah.
would I want to record myself screaming at my kids
Yeah.
to prove that I'm a real person, you
Yes.
know?
I'm a real person. See? Yeah.
Get in the car! Get dressed!
Get over here and act like you love me for the picture. Okay, smile. I know.
Usually when we do, I never force. Like
Yeah.
sometimes just surprise me, but most of the time, there's no making her do anything she doesn't want to do.
Right, right. I know.
Nah,
I'm just
it ain't
kidding.
gonna happen. She
I've
is
just
so.
I've seen memes
Is
about that. It's
yeah?
just
Is
funny.
Aubrey that way? Just
Yeah, she likes taking pictures though. So
oh,
she's she'll smile for me, like with the whole old lady thing. She
that was
she loves
precious.
that. So
Yeah.
she's funny. Um, yeah. So what were we
I mean,
talking?
just like, is there any like, if she doesn't want to do something, is it like a fight or a struggle?
Yeah, she
Yeah,
has a very strong will.
that's
I
what
don't
I
think
mean.
it's
Like,
quite as strong as Aaliyah's, but yeah, she does, and I like that. Sometimes it's annoying, like when I'm trying to get her to do stuff, but she questions a lot of things. Like why do I have to do that? And I think that's good because, like, in the days that we are living in, I want her to be like that
yeah,
because when we teach them young the truth, like it's hilarious when Philly jokes about cussing or doing something bad. She's like, "Do you love Jesus or not?" Like, it's hilarious. I'm like, "Yes." Like, you
that's
know what I mean? If
awesome.
she
Yeah.
knows that something is wrong, like she will speak up about it. And I love that. I think it's great and I want her to keep that. Like, and so she does question things and part of it is annoying. She never questions the Bible though, which was amazing to me. Like she will question other things but not the Bible. Like
Maybe
that's
not
the one thing.
now, maybe
Yeah.
later on in life. And my response to that is don't
Don't what?
question it.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
Yeah.
just don't
That maybe
question
that's
it.
why
Just,
like God wants
yeah,
us to teach them young is so that when they do get older, like it's just there, like the
that
truth is there.
childlike faith, that is the
Yeah.
whole purpose of having a childlike faith.
Mhm.
If you question it, what's the, like,
Yeah, of
we're not
course.
smarter than God, so why
Yeah.
are we trying to be? It doesn't
Right.
make any sense in my brain.
Right.
I'm not going to question anything. If Jonah was swallowed by a whale, then whatever. He was
Yeah.
swallowed by a whale. That's cool. Whatever. I'm not going to, oh, it's physically impossible. Like,
I know.
do you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
exactly. I know. I know. I know.
So
It's
that's,
But it's interesting to me, like I said, that she will like have such a strong will about everything else except that. And I feel like that's how God created us, like
Yeah.
to accept it and to believe it because we have that need for him, you know. We have that need. We've all been created with a need for God. And I think it's awesome, like I said, to see her like hold to it. Like if somebody says, you know, let's go do this, that's bad or whatever, she's like, you know, you need to go to
Different.
church, you know?
You need to go to church.
Yeah, you know. It's
Girl, you
hilarious.
need Jesus, okay?
Exactly. Do you love Jesus or not? I'm like, well, that's pretty good, you know.
That's
Um,
amazing. That is
yeah,
so
it is.
cute.
It really is.
Oh,
I think it's hilarious. I
something
can't
you
help
said.
but laugh.
Yeah, you have to laugh at that. That's
I'm like proud though, you
coming
know.
out of her little mouth, just the
Right.
mouth babes. And
Yeah.
she's so 100% right.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Of course.
she's so right. And it's
Yeah.
just so simple.
Mm.
Yeah.
Right. I know. It's funny. I'm just like, and I don't say that to people. I don't. I never do. Like I'm not like that. I'm not. I don't like shove it in people's faces. So for her to say it on her own, I know like God is not. I mean, I want to teach her to be kind about it. It's not that we need to hold it over anyone's head or be rude in any way. But I just think like that's from God, and I don't want to like stifle that.
Interfere.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Don't stop her from doing
Yeah.
that. No,
Oh,
not at
I wouldn't. Yeah. Teach her the right ways.
like
You know.
lifting up her dress.
Yeah. That was so embarrassing.
Style. Maybe teach her not to do that.
Course. I'm like, oh gosh,
You
never
better
again.
stop me.
Just the whole
Every
church.
kid.
You know what's funny about that? Like, did I tell you the actual choir director didn't see her and she was sitting right in front of her, but everyone else did, you know? So
Aw,
technically everyone didn't see her, but it was
that's
just
good.
hilarious.
That is
Yeah.
so funny.
But yeah, our worth, right? We keep deviating from the
Not rely on human people
yes,
opinions.
yes.
Know that God loves you and know that God thinks you're worth more than gold.
You worth more than gold.
Whenever I was sending you the message about it, I was
Yes.
like, yes,
That's
pretty
a good
cool. It is a
it's fun.
great song. I love
Um,
it.
I don't know why, like when you were telling me all this stuff, my mind immediately went to looks because I feel like
Really?
just our culture is so about that, you know?
For sure. I didn't think I don't know. I don't think about looks that much.
Yeah.
I'm not as high maintenance. I was actually talking to my neighbor about how I don't wear very much makeup
Mhm.
because Aaliyah went and played at her house not too long ago and she came home with makeup on.
Mhm.
And she's like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know, if that was okay. I was like, it's okay. I bought her makeup for,
Yeah.
just little pink, nothing crazy, but I bought her makeup for Christmas. It's okay. I was like, I don't wear it, but
Yeah.
and then we got on the conversation about I have a mascara, I
Mhm.
have an eyeshadow, and I have a little eye, like the little curler
Curler.
thing.
Uh-huh.
That's all I have, and chapstick.
Yeah.
That's all I have in my bag. And then Aaliyah's got a bag and she's got like
More stuff than you.
way more stuff than me. Her little bag is full. I was
Oh,
like,
that's
yeah, I'm
awesome.
not that type of girl. I never have been.
Yeah.
I've always had like one mascara and then my
Same.
eyeshadow. That's it. That's
Yes.
all I've ever had. So it's kind
Right.
of funny. Apparently, she has like a ton of makeup and her daughter knows about color palettes. And I
Uh-huh.
was like,
What's that?
like palette, the wooden things that we burn. Like, what are you talking
There are different color palettes. Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
was but yeah, I don't think about like when I was thinking worth, I wasn't thinking about like the way we look or anything like that. I just meant like in general.
Right.
Just like what I don't know. I was a good wife. I
Mhm.
did a lot of good things, you know.
Yeah.
I know how to be a wife, I know how to be a mom, and I cook, clean, take care of laundry, everything.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then for my husband to constantly call me worthless,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. And that the problem wasn't with you, it was with him, you
I
know?
know it took me a very long time to figure that out and for my eyes to be open to that, but still, like, imagine all the women, men too,
Yeah.
that deal with, they feel like they're a good person, but you've got somebody telling you you're not.
Yeah.
You're worthless.
Yeah. That's
You're
not
a
our
piece of
place.
crap.
Right.
Just
Especially
so,
in the church too. Like that's
yeah.
kind of like what we're talking about in our Bible study. We're doing it's called Letters to the Church by Francis Chan.
Okay.
But it's huh?
Okay. Francis Chan.
Yes.
Raphael.
He's so good. But anyway, it's talking about how as a church, like we're called to value each other, and view each other as like a precious gift to God. Like we shouldn't be bashing each other and stuff like that. And I know it's hard when you're in the world, like because
It's really not hard though.
I know
That's
it's not.
like,
I'm not for us, but
right, right. But
you know what I
for,
mean?
yeah.
Like the standards of the world are so different than
Mhm.
what Jesus' standards are for the church. And sometimes I think it's easy to kind of get caught up in that. And maybe, we probably don't struggle with that as much as a lot of people do. But
Yeah.
I know like a lot of Christians do struggle with that. Like they feel like they're not good enough if they don't look,
A
you know what I mean?
certain
The
way or
parts.
have certain things,
Right.
like your
Yeah.
house, your car, your,
Right.
oh, I get that, but man, none of that matters.
I
That's
know
what's
it
so
doesn't.
crazy.
It doesn't. It doesn't matter. Like,
Because when
and
you
the
die, you don't take any of that with you. And I believe, like,
right.
that makes so much sense to me. So why would we focus on stuff like that? We should be
Yeah.
focusing on loving each other,
Right. Yes. Yes,
accepting each other
exactly.
for who we are, being
Right.
ourselves. Yeah, I'm not saying accept the bad people and go hang out with them. You know
Right.
what I mean? I just mean don't judge
Right.
them. Whatever.
Yeah.
You don't live in their shoes. You
Yeah.
don't know what it's like, which
Yes.
I've experienced a lot in life so far. So I kind of can relate to so many different types
Yeah.
of people. So it's
Mhm.
easy for me to like not judge.
Right.
'Cause you know what? I've been there and
Yeah.
it sucked. So for
Yeah.
me to like say anything negative towards that person on how they're acting,
Yeah.
even like at the store, if somebody's having a bad day, maybe it's just a bad day. That doesn't mean they're a bad person, you
Right.
know? But a
Right.
lot of people don't think that way. They're just immediately like, oh, they're horrible.
Yeah.
Because, does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Right. Yeah. I
I feel
definitely
like I say that all the time. Does that
what
make
does
sense? Does that
does
make
that
sense?
wait, can you explain that? No, I'm
In
kidding.
all of our videos, I say it at least once. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense to me. I
Yes.
understand. I understand. Yes. It's true.
Yeah, of course
It's
you
true.
understand, but
Yes, I understand. I
just making
understand.
sense.
Yes, it makes sense. It makes sense. No, I'm kidding.
Does it make sense?
Wait. What?
Your
Yeah.
worth is gold.
Yes. Well, the one kind of story that God kind of put on my heart about this, not about myself. Well, okay, I'll share this, but then I'll share that too.
Okay.
Was about David in the Bible.
Okay.
Do you remember the story of David about
And
how he was a shepherd? No,
okay.
that's Daniel. Did you say lions
Yeah.
then? That's Daniel. And did it's like breaking up. I can't. Okay, David was the one that killed Goliath.
Right, David and
Okay,
Goliath. I said the
Goliath.
lions, so Daniel was in the lion's den,
Yes,
and
Daniel
he's the
was
one
the
that
lion.
didn't get eaten because he had
Correct.
faith that he wouldn't get eaten. Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
David killed Goliath.
right, David was yeah. So he started out as like a shepherd boy, right?
Right.
And so Samuel was the prophet of God, and Israel needed a new king because Saul was the king and God was going to get rid of him or whatever. So God sent Samuel to David's house, and his dad's name was Jesse, and he had like several sons. So Samuel went there, and he's like, God told me that one of your sons is going to be the next king of Israel. And so he said, Jesse, call all of your sons here, and I will tell you which one God chooses for the king. And so all the sons lined up, and he went down the row and was like, no, 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 no.
None
Do
of
you
them.
have yeah? And
Yeah,
he's
there
like,
was
do you have
another.
any other sons? And he's like, oh well, we have David. He's out with the sheep though. He can't possibly be the one because he's smaller than everyone.
Yeah.
He's stinks because he's working with sheep. And he's like, no, call him here. And so they called for David. David came and Samuel said, this is the next king of Israel. And everybody's like, David,
Oh. Yeah.
right? And the verse that God, showed me through that it's First Samuel 16:7. It says, for the Lord does not see as a man sees. For man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. And
Mhm.
I think that's just how our culture is
Yeah.
just looking at the appearance and
They
not looking at the
judge
heart.
books. Yeah.
Right. And so God, that's what I love about God is that he just picks the least likely person that
Hmm.
the world would pick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those who are not as eloquent. Like, okay, so Moses in the Bible, he had a speech problem, but yet God used him to
Yeah.
free
Talk
the
to, yeah.
Israelites and
He
speak.
talked to
Yeah.
thousands of people.
Yeah. And like all of the people that God chose, even the disciples, they weren't like scholars
Yeah.
in the Bible. They were fishermen.
Yeah.
They
Ordinary
were blue
people.
collar. They
They
weren't white
weren't
collar.
extraordinary. They were ordinary. And they were
Right.
like the
The least
least expected. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I love that God doesn't look at our outward appearance. He's looking at our heart. He's looking for those who are willing,
Hmm.
you know what I mean, to do the things that he wants them to do.
And
And
we as humans should be doing that as
yes,
well. We
exactly.
shouldn't be like looking at someone and being like, oh,
Yeah,
immediately come up with whatever idea we have about that person, and that's who that person is.
right, right.
And you never really know people, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
you
And
never know people. Like that version of themselves that they chose to show you in that moment in time is
right.
probably not even them, you know?
Right.
Isn't that weird to think
Exactly.
about?
I know. And that's why as a church, like we've got to get better at getting on each other's level, and
Yeah.
stop focusing on the outward appearance,
Yeah.
and the reason I say that is because like I've noticed in church, and I'm sure you have too since you visited a lot of different churches. A
Mhm.
lot of churches are all about the look up on
Oh, yeah.
stage. They want to make sure
They
they look
stress.
cool. You know what
Yeah,
I
they
mean? Like,
stress. It's like a stress of theirs. And I've
yeah.
seen women like, why are you so stressed out about it?
Yeah.
Like, relax. Like, God's got this. All you got to
Yeah.
do is show up,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
Just show
Yeah.
up. It'll be taken care of.
Yes.
I like fully believe that with all of my heart, especially when it comes to being at church and doing
Uh-huh.
church things.
Oh yeah. There's
Like,
more to it
where's
than just
God? Like,
yeah.
God's all around us. Let him do the work. He's just
Right.
working through you. But a lot of
Yeah.
people don't.
Yeah.
It's
It's
that
like
human mentality.
right, because they're spending so much time and effort portraying this outward
Mhm.
look, right, to get people to like them. But
Yeah.
in reality, when I think about leaders or people on stage or whatever, what I remember about them is what they're saying, what's
Yeah.
coming out of their
That's
heart. It is
true.
not what they look like. I don't remember what you wore,
That's true.
a month ago, but I do remember what you said. You know what I mean? And I think as Christians, and that's what we need to be focusing on more is, you know, loving each other
Oh
and
yeah, for sure. But
encouraging each other.
one thing about that too is like when you look good, you feel good. Does
Mhm.
that make sense? But then a
Yeah,
lot of people do, you know, go a little overboard
take it a little too
and they
far.
put a little too much
Yeah.
effort.
I'm not
You
saying
know,
that you shouldn't care about the way you look. That has nothing to do with it.
just
I'm
don't stress
saying
yourself
that's
out
your
about it.
focus. When you
Yeah, it
get on
shouldn't be your
stage,
goal, right? That shouldn't be your
yeah, when you
goal.
get on stage or you get in front of people, it's not, are they going to like the way I look? It's, what does God want me to say? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I just think
Am I
there's
going to
some,
reach people with what I'm saying or
right,
singing or doing or
right,
no, I
right.
agree with that.
Yeah. And that, like I said, God's not looking for that. He wants your heart to be right. And there
Yeah.
was another verse in Proverbs 31:30. It says, charm is deceitful and beauty is passing or fading, but a woman or man who fears the Lord, those are the people that will be praised by
Yeah.
him. Like what God wants from us is our hearts to fear him, not like in a scary type of way, but like
No,
to
but
respect him, to honor
yeah,
him.
respect and don't
Yeah.
do bad things out of fear that you're gonna get in trouble.
Yes.
That's how I feel.
Right.
Like,
Right, there's
I mean,
consequences, right?
to everything, even if people
Yeah,
don't see what you're doing, God sees what you're doing, you're gonna get in
right.
trouble.
Yeah,
Okay?
you're gonna get in trouble.
Don't do it. Yeah. Ooh.
Have you seen Wobble by Family Force 5? I mean, the people who do Crank It Like a Chainsaw. Crank It Like
Yes.
a Chainsaw.
I remember
Did I
the song.
send
Yeah.
you the Wobble song?
Uh-uh.
They're like, let me see you wobble. You ever heard that?
No, I
You should
haven't.
look it up. But there's a
Okay.
part in there where the guy's like, you gonna get in trouble. Anyway, so that's what I was just thinking of.
Well,
You gonna get in trouble if I
funny
don't
that you
see
said
you
Proverbs
wobble.
31 because I was
Yeah,
like that
you were in
that
Proverbs 31.
I was
Proverbs
that
31.
Proverbs 31 verse 25 though.
Yeah.
That's my new verse.
Good.
I love it. I thought it was great though. It's
What is it?
perfect
Why
for
don't you
like,
share it?
oh,
Why don't you read it?
let me know if it makes sense.
Okay. Just
All right.
explain it slow. Okay, I'm ready.
Proverbs 31:25. She is clothed with strength and dignity, and she laughs without the fear of the future.
Yeah.
She laughs without fear of the future. I said
Yeah.
the fear.
So what is she clothed with?
Strength and dignity.
Yeah, right. She's has dignity in herself, right?
She's
And
fully
and
clothed.
there you go, guys. Fully clothed. No. But that strength and the dignity that she has is not coming from what other people think of her. It is coming from what God
Absolutely.
thinks and who
Yep.
she is in him. That's where it's coming from.
And
Like,
what I'm worth.
yeah. My sweater right now, I know you can't read it, can you?
Because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. I praise God because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made.
Yes. I also wrote that verse down. It's Psalm 139:14. It says, I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, talking about God, and that my soul knows very well. Like, God does not make mistakes.
Nope.
You know, who he made us to be, the way we look, our personality, these are, I mean, yes, we have flaws, right? I mean, we're not
Of
perfect.
course. Right.
But like who we are at the center of our being, like God made that. Like, and he doesn't make mistakes, you know. You know, some people may look at us and not value us properly. That's just the fallen world that we live in. But we cannot rest on what people think. Like, we have to remember that God made us and he doesn't make mistakes, you know. We make mistakes and he forgives those mistakes
But we're still worth his love.
Yes.
So
it reminds me of this this demonstration that I did a while back of, I didn't make this up. I would love to take credit for it, but I'm not this creative. Basically, you take like a $20 bill, and I would ask, anybody want this $20 bill? And everybody would raise their hand. It's a $20 bill. Who wouldn't want it, right? And so then I would take it and I would crumple it up, right? I would throw it on the ground. I'd stomp on it. I'd like make it really dirty, right? And then I'd hold it up and say, hey, anybody want it now? Look how nasty it is. And everybody still raised their hand. And I say, why do you still want it? Because there's still value there. It's still worth $20, like regardless of what has happened to it. The same thing is true for us. Like, no matter how many times we've been crumpled or stepped on or hurt or
dirty.
Yeah, or even dirty from our own choices. Like, God still values us. He still treasures us. He can clean us off. Like, when we make mistakes, we don't need to live in the dirt. We need to go to him and allow him to cleanse us. But we're still worth the same to him, you know, no matter what. And that is just something, it's like a powerful illustration. Like, you're worth, and you're even worth more than that. You're worth more than gold. You're worth more than, you know, we're worth more, you know. So, but I was going to tell you, do you remember me giving you a book called So Long Insecurity?
Yes.
By Beth Moore.
Yes.
That is a really good book.
I didn't read all of it. I only got through the first chapter, but I'm not much
of a reader.
I should though.
I'm not it is so good. I would encourage you, if you still have it. Do you still have it?
Yes, I still have it.
Read it. I mean, I'm telling you, okay, we talked about how, you know, we've been through kind of childhood issues where we didn't feel loved, didn't feel valued or whatever. That book, God used it to open my eyes about my value.
About that, yeah.
And that's where Psalm 139:14 came from for me. That I will praise you, for I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. That's kind of like the verse it focuses on.
Yeah.
But it's just so good, that book. But God really used it to open my eyes about my worth in him. And, you know, no matter what kind of abuse or that you've been through, like, that doesn't define you.
Right.
You know, what people think of you is not what defines you. It's what God thinks of you. And we have to, because if we don't grasp that, like, we're not going to be able to be who he wants us to be, right?
No.
Yeah.
You're going to be miserable. You could play happy,
fake
like
it.
Absolutely, you could fake it. Fake it till you make it.
That's not what God wants for his children, though. He wants us to thrive and to be confident in who we are in him, you know. And it's a struggle because we live in a hard world sometimes, and even social media, like I'm
Mhm.
like you can just look on there and everybody seems to have a perfect life and everything seems to be going perfectly for everyone, but that's just like you
Not
said, the image they want you to see. Like it isn't the truth, you know.
right.
Everybody has problems.
Oh
Everybody
yeah.
has struggles, you know.
Hmm.
It doesn't mean that you're not worth anything because you don't have the perfect vacation pictures, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Man, you know what I feel about vacation? Like when you go to places like that, especially if you're a parent, it's really
Yeah.
not a vacation.
It's
It's
hard.
like I feel like it's so much more stressful. You should have just stayed home. Does
Yeah.
that make
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say
No.
it.
Oh, what?
Does that
What do you
make
mean?
sense?
No, it doesn't.
I need
You're
to stop.
making no sense. You
That's
don't
stupid.
make sense. But God loves you anyway.
That's
No.
all that matters.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, trust me, we went on a lot of vacations when the girls, or my youngest, was super young, and it was not fun because she
Not
was
that fun.
like, she was hard. She was a needy child, needing my
But
hand
that's
all the
what
time.
they are, you know?
Yeah.
That's just
It's gotten better as they've gotten older, but then
yeah.
now they're fighting. It's like constant fighting. I'm thankful that our truck has a third row
Oh
because they get
yes.
separated on trips,
Yeah.
and that's great. But anyway, so
Aaliyah
yeah.
and Alex. Aaliyah and Alex do that.
Hmm.
It's just constant. Like why?
Bickering, fighting.
And a lot of times I'm like, why are you around each other? It doesn't make any if you guys like act that way and you both
Yeah.
get mad, like just stay away from each
Yeah,
other. What's
I
the
know.
like go to your
You
room
know
and
what's funny?
Aaliyah,
What's funny about that is the same thing with the girls, right? But Haley went to a church little youth thing over the
I saw
weekend.
that.
She
I
was
saw
gone
that.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The like 15 minutes after she left, we dropped her off. Aubrey's like, I miss Sissy, I love
Aw.
her. I miss her. I'm like, how
Yep.
come y'all fight all the time? It's just funny. Like they can't live with each
You're
other
gonna
or
have
without.
like such a great bond though later on in
I hope
life. Yeah,
so.
it's annoying right now, but later on,
I
and I
hope
tell
so.
that to the boys and I say that to my kids too, like just let yeah, they're annoying, but that's just normal, you
Yeah.
know, we get annoyed with each other. It is what it is, but later on in life, you're gonna love each other so
Yeah.
much.
Hope
Like
so.
I believe that. No, I know they
Yeah.
will. They better.
They better.
They better love each other.
That's funny.
You're all coming to Christmas to my house.
And you're gonna sit by each other and you're gonna like it. Oh man.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
You're
funny.
gonna love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Good
yeah,
stuff. Good
absolutely.
stuff. Yeah.
That
We
was a good talk.
yeah, it's good.
I
It's
just like to I
reminder.
randomly think of things though. I'm like, we should talk about that. I was
Yeah.
taking a shower. I got up at 5:30 this morning because of my
Yeah.
nose. And I was just thinking, I don't know why I started thinking about that, but I just did.
Somebody must need to hear it. It's
Yeah, for
that
sure.
message. So
It was, yeah. Okay.
um
And then now we say goodbye.
yes. So yes, thank you guys so much for watching. We hope y'all have a wonderful week and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Patera.
Bye, Felicia.